Good morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We're at 21140 Southeast Yamhill Street here in Gresham. We are located on the, as you face the front door of the home, we're on the back side of the house here. Now from the street orientation, you kind of face the garage door area almost, which would kind of put it on the right side. But I typically describe things as if you're standing facing the front of the house. So at the back of the home here, about mid-span across the back of the house, you have a 4-inch ABS cleanout. The smaller 3-inch cleanout next to it would appear to be the storm system. In fact, so they are tied in, I can tell just by the echo there. Very common setup here, especially for older homes. All right, checking the overall condition, serviceability of the line. Waters are running. We are zeroed out and off we go here. And we swap over to PVC pipe immediately upon access. Also 4-inch diameter. What this is looking like so far here, this thing actually may do a full turnaround. We're either flipping around and shooting back underneath the house here and or possibly rounding the back left corner of the house. It's looking like a wraparound sewer line here. And we got a bunch of gunk built up right here in the line. If we can break that loose or not. We'll revisit this location on the way out. There was a little standing water prior to that point there, but it's very likely that debris sitting in the pipe is responsible for why there was any water standing at all. Anyhow, a lot of these homes in this part of town at one point used to be on septic or cesspool, most likely. And when they convert from a cesspool to city sewer, because of how expensive it is to reverse the plumbing underneath a home, most households will just opt to keep the line going out the back and then just wrap it around the house. To reverse plumbing to go out the front requires generally a complete redo of the plumbing. It's very expensive. It's ideal, but it's very expensive. Probably going to see a transition here in a moment. We either just went past the secondary cleanout or possibly the test tee. That may be a secondary cleanout though. Usually you see a transition within a few feet of going past the test tee connection. And quite a clean sewer line here so far. It's a little bit of grease buildup, but very minor relative to most homes. We're going to crank up the water volume here. This line's got enough turns in it. Combined with, I don't have a bathtub in the house here to run really high volume water with. I would reach the main within 3 feet of doing that. there it is right there. About 94 feet out. Now we're going to go locate the camera head here. Or 93 feet, I should say. Alrighty. Located the camera head successfully. Line terminates out front on Southeast Yamhill. The line does indeed, it exits out the back, wraps around the left side of the home, and then once it gets around that back left corner, the line runs pretty darn straight off into the street. Kind of where that metal gate is at. And we have just a little bit of water trickling off right now. The line is just about done draining here. And the current homeowners have done a pretty good job at keeping the line clean. There is very little buildup to speak of, most notably almost no grease buildup in the line. which is the main item that will build up in a sewer pipe, and it plays a big role in how well your line flows. Make sure, you know, having a line this clean makes it much more forgiving under circumstances where someone does put something improper down the line, wipes, paper towels, balled up toilet paper, stuff like that. So I'm going kind of slow here, just to we have a little water trickling off. All the water that you're seeing here thus far as we've been coming back from the main, all of that is moving water. None of that's standing. I'm gonna go test something here really quick. I wonder if that water's... I actually kind of wonder right now if it's coming from that urinal shop area. I was trying to verify where the water flow is. We're gonna do I'm gonna flush that thing really quick to see if it comes to this tie-in at the top of the pipe. Yeah, I'm thinking that's a secondary, because I can see, or secondary clean out, possibly a test Y. I can see where the plumbing comes out of this little shop area here, and that plumbing should be hooking in much further back in here, so. And the toilet flush did just go down the line. That's what that water you're flowing through the line is right now. I cannot figure out where some of this stuff is coming from. I feel like I haven't had water go through the clean out here in a moment. Alright, we're getting back into the area here where you will potentially see the tie-in for the urinal in the shop. That right there, I think it's right here on this turn. It's really hard to see. It looks like there's a Y that comes in right there at the top of the pipe. At least at first glance, that's what it looked like. Yeah, you get a terrible view of it. It looks like it's right here before the turn. The camera is just articulated in a goofy spot here. I'm going to see if I can find something to put some water down that really quick. Alright, I'm going to put some water down the urinal here. I'm going to leave the recorder live here for a moment. There you go, right there. So, I've got a milk jug sitting inside the urinal right now, dumping water into it. So it ties in right here on the turn. Hard Y connection to see coming in there. you've got a teeny tiny little bit of standing water right on that turn. I mean, that's a belly that's so small it's not even going in my report. It's about a 6 to 8 inch long section of pipe, barely holding a 1/4 inch of water. And for reference, I've done almost 25,000 sewer scopes at this point in my career, and that water you're seeing right there is running water from the dishwasher. Get some toilet paper happy people in here. Anyway, very nice looking sewer line. Very clean, almost perfect gradation, other than a teeny little belly there. I will not nitpick things that minor. They have almost no bearing on functionality at all. So good flow all the way out to the main lateral connection. I am going to real quick here run back to the foundation wall. Cast iron going back into the house. It's going to be a pretty short-lived plumbing system. There's the vent stack right there. So that light at the end of the tunnel there up ahead, we're looking up at the sky right now through the roof vent. If I kept going, my camera would pop out on the rooftop. And we had a little bit of debris hanging down right here just before the vent stack. It's where a drain ties in. In fact, I think my camera knocked it loose. So you got a little bit of cast iron here. You can see I've got a little bit of debris snagged up in the line. What the heck is that thing? I mostly mentioned that cast iron is not the, because of its a little bit rougher texture to it. Look at this gunk knocked loose here just so it gets moving. Anyway, improper items snag up in cast iron relatively easy, so you want to just make sure you're not putting wipes, paper towels, tampons, things like that down the line. Luckily, you've only got maybe a 5-foot section of it going back into the house. It's a very short-lived piece of pipe. Otherwise, everything else here is on the outside is fully updated. So, and the cast iron there is showing some of its age, a little bit of roughness to it, but it is intact. It has good flow, no standing water, and the debris that was in there, I just scraped it loose, and I'm going to go flush the toilet so it flows out of the sewer pipe. So, anyway, good flow end to end here. Line is functioning properly at this time. Because the age of the cast iron there, I would probably take a look at that every so often. Nothing lasts for forever, so it's nice you can catch things earlier on. I'd probably re-scope back into the home maybe every 2 years or so just to monitor the condition of the cast iron.